What if everything you know about identity is wrong?
That's today's topic, which involves two words: Adam before the fall versus Adam and Eve after the fall. Adam and Eve after the fall is the root of identity crisis. So this is a very interesting topic. Will really bless you. So let me start with my introduction. There is a major difference between the word of Adam and the word of Adam and Eve. Unfortunately, most people, including churches, talk about Adam and Eve as if that is where the story begins. But, the Bible shows us something deeper. And we're going to dive into that today. You see, the word of Adam is God's original plan. The word of Adam is actually God's original plan. But the word of Adam and Eve is the alternate word created after the fall. The word of Adam and Eve is the alternate word created after the fall. You see, even Jesus himself never used the name Eve. If you check the Bible right from Genesis to Revelation, there's never a place where Jesus himself ever used the name Eve. He called his own mother woman. Jesus called his own mother woman. The same title or word Adam used before the fall. That was the same name the man Adam used before the fall. You see, the book of John chapter 2 verse 4. See, we're going to go based on outline. So let's take number 1, the original word, the word of Adam. Let's talk about that. Created image. And we should not forget male and female. The word of Adam, created in God's image, male and female. You see, before the fall, identity was simple, pure, and rooted in God. In fact, Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, quote, "So God created man in his own image, male and female created he them." And if you go to Genesis chapter 5, verse 2, which also quote, "Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam." It is very important you understand the word of Adam, which simply comprises of two individuals, then the male and the female. The male represent the man, and the female represented the woman. Both of them made what we call the word of Adam. The word of Adam. It was simple. Man is man, woman is woman in that word. I see Jesus himself confirmed this original design. And we can see that in the book of Matthew chapter 19, from verse 4 to verse 6. It is very important we understand the word of Adam, where things were so simple. Things were not complicated. We could easily identify who is a male, and we could easily identify who is a female in the word of Adam. You see, identity flowed right from God. Not from self-definition, which we have these days. Not from culture. Not from confusion. Not from chaos. In the world of Adam, identity flowed from God. Not from self-definition, people hiding under the disguise of who I am. You don't define who you are from your perspective. You don't define who you are based on culture. That is confusion. And you don't define yourself based on race. You don't define yourself based on tribe. You don't define yourself based on language. In the world of Adam, our identity flow from God. There's no chaos. There's no confusion. It's straight to the point. Now let's go to, my emphasis is more on before the fall. You see, his knowledge came directly from God. Adam's knowledge came directly from God. God created Adam with the ability to receive knowledge, intelligence, wisdom, and boldness directly from God. Adam was able to recognize that God was present. And Adam, the man, and by revelation. So it was not that complicated when Adam relied on God for knowledge. And of course, it is important to know that the reason why the expectation should be that the man rely on God for knowledge was because God actually created mankind in his own image and in his own likeness. So the expectation is that man should rely on God for knowledge. And if we go to Genesis chapter 2 from verse 21 to verse 23, Adam was in a deep sleep according to how the Bible recorded it. Adam was in a deep sleep, yet when he woke up, he said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman." Take note carefully when you read those verses. We have the helpmeet. That was what God called the woman. And God now made the helpmeet while Adam was deep in a sleep. And God took a rib out of ribs while Adam was deep. When the Bible says deep, it means deep. And somebody who is deep in a sleep, I do not expect that person to just know what is happening. And yet, Adam was able to tap into the realm of God's knowledge. The same way Jesus described his own relationship with the Father in the book of John chapter 5 verse 19. I quote, "The Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do." See, I want us to understand the world of Adam. In the world of Adam, where man is man and woman is woman, the expectation is that Adam was supposed to tap or rely on the knowledge of God. Just like Jesus Christ said in John chapter 5, verse 19. And when we talk about Jesus, we are talking about the Son of the living God. He's making it clear to us that man can do not of himself. In other words, the Son of Man, which is Jesus, will have to rely on God completely in doing whatever he does. And that was what Adam tapped into. What God picked in that realm was a rib among the ribs. And Adam just by saying, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman. The man who called the helpmeet woman. And if you take note, when Adam called the helpmeet woman, God was present. And the man referenced what God has done and what God said, not in the physical hearing of the man, because the man was put in a deep sleep. And Jesus Christ kind of validated what happened in John chapter 5, verse 19, by saying, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he said the Father do. In the world of Adam, man's knowledge was supposed to mirror God's knowledge. Now let's see God's original provision. God's original provision. And you will realize that in God's original provision, there's no thing like to till the ground. No toil, no struggle. In fact, that was why God planted the garden. God planted the Garden of Eden. And it was not the man, Adam, or the woman, Adam, that planted the Garden of Eden. So it is important we understand that God have reason why. And that reason was that the expectation was not for man to till the ground, or for man to talk, or for man to struggle. God placed precious stones on the surface of the ground in Eden, and they were not buried deep down the ground or the earth. The Bible even says in Genesis chapter 2 verse 12 that the gold of the land is good. The gold of the land is good. And that brings me to this question, why? Because in the world of Adam, man was not designed to struggle. Adam was created to keep the garden, not to fight for it. Adam was created to maintain the garden, to keep the garden, to dress the garden, not to fight for it. He was given custody, authority, and delegated power. Very important. Now, if we come to the shift, what do I mean by the shift? Enter the world of Adam and Eve. This is where everything changes. This is where identity becomes confused. This is where the alternate world begins. There's big difference. And like I said, so many people just or cannot easily distinguish the two. That was why I said things were kind of muddled up. If we're not mindful and careful enough, we think they are the same. They are not the same. They are not the same. So this is the foundation. This is the foundation. The world before the fall. The world before the fall of Adam. The world before the fall is the world of Adam. God's original plan. The foundation of this whole message I'm sharing today. The world before the fall is the world of Adam. God's original plan. And the world after the fall is the world of identity crisis. So part 2 is coming. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Follow me. Just like, share this message. Go to the comment section. You have question, you have contribution, go to the comment section, and I'll be more than excited to hear from you. Thank you again and bless.
Don't let this revelation stop here. If this message stirred your heart, hit subscribe so you never miss part 2. Share this with someone struggling with identity. Drop a comment below. Tell me what God revealed to you today. Let's continue this journey together. Remember, you were created in God's original design. Walk in it. God bless you.